Hello to whoever's watching. My name is Joaquin Galang. I am a ComSci undergrad and welcome to my Pecha Kucha video as part of my internship application for Symph. Now, since my first name is a bit of a mouthful, most people just call me Kin for short. I am a third year computer science student at Holy Angel University and an aspiring professional software developer. Presently, I am the mobile development lead at GDGCHAU and a DevCon Pampanga volunteer. I enjoy creating fun and interesting applications, solving coding challenges, and teaching beginners how to code. I am applying for a technical internship position, specifically for web and mobile app development. And I guess another fun fact that I could share about me is that I'm allergic to both peanuts and cats. So unfortunately, I was cursed with two of the most stereotypical cartoonish allergies out there. But I'm just grateful I can still eat seafood. Shellfish in particular is another popular allergy that a lot of people get. But I'm actually quite lucky if you think about it, because the allergy that I have for peanuts and cats are just mild allergies. So when I am exposed to them, I get itchy, I begin tearing up, and I sneeze a lot, much like the picture over here. But a lot of people actually have it worse and have the risk of dying when exposed. So I'm just grateful I don't have to carry an EpiPen around me wherever I go. I want to talk a bit about my beginnings. So at first, I wanted to say that I started programming when I was in senior high school. But as I looked back, if you want to get technical, the start of my journey as a builder and as a developer goes all the way back to elementary school, where my extremely supportive parents enrolled me to a robotics class in Manila, where we were taught how to design, build, and program Lego Technic robots. So here's an image of me. I think my robot just won a Minecraft obstacle course. Here's me holding the Steve trophy that they gave us. And this is a maze traveling robot that I built at the time, if I recall correctly. Eventually, I was invited to participate in a national competition, national robotics competition. So this is the 13th National Philippine Robotics Olympiad, where I participated as part of a team of three. So I was in a group with three other kids, and we built like a Mars rover, if I recall correctly. This was our robot. His name was Platon, which stands for planting trees and harvesting oxygen on Mars. And he was just supposed to like sort of facilitate an oxygen harvesting plant that was in Mars. Purely hypothetical, by the way. But yeah, we actually ended up being one of the finalists in the national competition and was therefore invited to participate internationally at Russia, amongst other Filipino finalists that won in the national competition that I just mentioned. So this was us in a airport at Moscow, if I recall correctly. And then from Moscow, we had to take a plane to Sochi, which was where the actual convention was being held. So this is Robotics Day in Sochi, 2014, which was 11 years ago, and I'm already feeling old. But yeah, this is me and my team, basically delivering the same pitch that we did back in the Philippines, though we tried to refine it a little bit. Spoke more heavily in English, obviously. And then we actually ended up placing eighth over 40 countries, which, if you think about it, for a group of kids, was an incredible feat. And yeah, as I'm looking back at this, I'm starting to realize that I might have peaked at elementary school, and it's been like a steady, gradual decline ever since. But I'm trying to stay positive. uh, and you would think that with such a tech-driven childhood, that I would naturally gravitate towards a career in technology, like engineering or maybe even software development, right? Well, reality was different. So at some point, I stopped going to my robotics classes. I graduated from elementary school, and then I graduated from junior high school. And as I got older and older, I began to meet new people and develop new interests. It came to a point where I was actually uncertain of the career path that I wanted to pursue. So I was mildly interested in law, so I was like, maybe I should pursue law. But I really enjoyed creative writing when I was a in my teens. So maybe career as a journalist would be more practical, but I was also so unsure that I considered pursuing a career in business, particularly maybe as an entrepreneur, because it was the most flexible. But I was unsure. I really was unsure. I was stuck in analysis paralysis, so to speak, just pure career indecision. And eventually, the pandemic hit. And when quarantine life began, I paused my studies and took it as an opportunity to reflect and explore my options. So at the time, I was considering pursuing a career as an entrepreneur, and I observed that a lot of businesses were transitioning to an online environment. Since I had a lot of free time, I decided to learn how to program on the side. Maybe build a website. Who knows? It might be fun. I went to YouTube and I started searching how to program, and free code camp tutorials for Python started popping up. So I pursued that, and it changed everything because I discovered that I really enjoyed coding and programming, even more so than my waning interest for business. And then it just sort of hit me like, why don't I just do this instead? And thus, that started the pandemic grind. I followed multiple tutorials online and even purchased courses on Udemy, trying to learn as much as I could before college started. And when it did, I enrolled in a degree under Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. But why did I choose comp sci or CS? So back in the day, since I was just sort of new to it, I was sure that I wanted to pursue a career as a software developer or a software engineer, but I was uncertain about what to specialize in specifically. So, like, would I focus on front end development, back end, or full stack web development? Would I even be involved in web development? I mean, mobile development sounds fun too, and it's better to take the road less taken. I heard that cloud is what it's all about these days as well. And so I was just basically very indecisive, and I still kind of am, to be honest. But I took computer science. I because having a CS degree gave me the flexibility to transition to any position in the tech industry that I wanted after I graduated, basically. And I still believe that. Aha. So during my time as a freshman, I participated in various extracurricular activities. One of which was the Code to Death competition of 2022. So essentially, the organization, this computer science organization that hosted the event, gave us 2 hours where we had to solve as many coding challenges as we could with varying degrees of difficulty. And the harder the questions were to solve, the more points that they yielded. So in the end, I ended up winning first place in the competition, which I am proud to say. I actually have my medal over here that I found digging through my room. So it's all first place medal that they gave us as a trinket. Uh, and yeah, that was my experience as a freshman. When I became a sophomore student, I eventually became the vice president of the computer science organization that hosted the Code to Death competition. So I was invited to be the vice president external of Loop, otherwise known as the League of Outstanding Programmers, which was a student organization under the School of Computing that represented the computer science course. So Loop is dedicated to helping its members excel academically in their professional programming subjects. And at the time, we did this by hosting various events like seminars and workshops, as well as pre-review sessions 1 week before every major exam. And we did this only for the programming subjects, of course. It was out of our scope otherwise. But basically, this initiative was directed mostly towards freshman students because they were the ones actively participating at Loop events at the time. But every term, we would host a session. So prelims, midterms, finals. A week before the exams, we would cover the programming concepts that they discussed during that term, and basically try our best to get them ready for their examinations. I want to go over a few other Loop events that we hosted or participated in. So this was the organization festival, where Loop, alongside a lot of different organizations across different departments, tried to recruit as many freshmen as possible to their organization. This is me with the Loop team. So I still keep in contact with a lot of these guys. Uh, and then these are pictures from the SOC General Assembly. So basically, students under the School of Computing gathered in the auditorium near the start of the academic year, during which our organization, among others from our department, particularly the School of Computing, spoke about the courses that we represented. In our case, it was CS. And essentially, we encouraged students under that course to join our organization and explain the benefits. So this is an image of people signing up. This is an image of me with Kirsten and Mark pitching Loop to a gigantic crowd of people. And this is a picture of me holding a ukulele for some reason. This is the SOC days, or basically our college days. Back then it was Ghibli themed, so we had a Ghibli themed booth. We were selling Ghibli themed Ghibli inspired slash coding merchandise as well. We made like a house moving castle photo frame, which was really cool. And this is me hosting the Code to Death competition of that year. So it was kind of an ironic role switch from participant to officer, which I thought was really cool. And let's see what else. This was a day with the Foxes. Basically, senior high school students from HAU and other schools came to visit, and we basically explained or introduced them to the concept of computer science and its charms. Low key advertising the course for the school. And finally, this was one of the last Loop events that we hosted. This was the Computer Science General Assembly. Uh, this was conducted near the end of the academic year and was sort of a retrospective look at what Loop and the entire computer science community in HAU was able to accomplish across the entire year. And I actually had the honor and pleasure of serving as the host for this event alongside another officer way there in the back. And yeah, this is the entire CS community of HAU, and there's me, and there's my officers. There's me hosting an event. We also had like a bunch of different games where the participants won prizes at the event, so that was also fun. And I'm getting a lot of nostalgia just looking back at this now, because after my sophomore years, I transitioned to my third year, which is also my current year, and I took up a new student leadership position, particularly the GDGC mobile development. So I also mentioned this a little bit earlier. So the position is under the tech committee, which entails active participation across the committee's projects, events, and activities. And each tech lead is required to host at least one workshop that revolves around their specialization. And for me, as a mobile development lead, I hosted the Flutter Study Jam, which actually happened yesterday, exactly yesterday. So as of now, I'm recording this at March 6th, 2025. And yesterday, on March 5th, I hosted this event alongside a lot of my other GDGC officers. And it was really fun. It was really exciting. The participants were so engaging, so willing. You can see them there raising their hands. To be fair, we also gave them a lot of incentives, like a lot of prizes, like pins, stickers, lanyards. This was also an event in collaboration with Mafia, another org, not the Mafia, but Mafia as in the multimedia aficionados for interested artists, as well as Notion HAU. So we were giving away Notion stickers, we were giving away Notion lanyards, etc. And it was really fun. At the end of the event, we also held a raffle, which we gave away a bunch of cool prizes like smartwatches, mechanical keyboards, and a Hot Wheels car for some reason. And we have a continuation. It's a 2-day event. So day two of the Flutter workshop actually takes place on March 12th. They're exactly 1 week apart, so I still have to do that. So wish me luck. And yeah, here's a picture. This is a photo op of all of the participants of the event. Yeah, here's me with some of the officers at the back and the participants. It was really fun. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. I'm kind of proud of this. And here are some other GDGC HAU events that we hosted slash participated in. So this was the Org Fest for 2024. GDGC had a booth similar to how Loop had a booth way back when. This is the SOC General Assembly. We also had a booth for the SOC General Assembly. This is us. This is the community. That's Kirsten. And a bunch of my other friends. That's Josh, who actually interned at Symph as well, if I recall correctly. And he was actually the one who recommended that I do so as well. And this is the UI UX study jam. So I actually became co-instructor for this study jam. Here's me receiving a certificate of appreciation. Aisha, which is our UI UX lead, actually was the main host of the event. Here she is right now. And the event was titled From Sketch to Screen, Creating a Seamless Future with UI UX. And then at some point, actually just recently, I became a DevCon Pampanga volunteer. So I'm sure you're familiar with DevCon, but just to reiterate, DevCon Philippines is a nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering Filipino developers through networking, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. And DevCon Pampanga is a regional chapter of DevCon Philippines, focused on supporting and growing the developer community in Pampanga. So I only recently joined. I actually joined, I want to say it's February. I could be mistaken. But this is my first time being acquainted with the DevCon Pampanga team through a leadership training that they hosted and that I was invited to by Josh. I met a lot of people from Olongapo and Quezon City as well that were experienced community builders that joined the workshop. And this is me participating in building a grassroots community. I think the event's like full title was Building a Grassroots Community. How do we do it? And I found myself attending alongside other DevCon Pampanga volunteers, as well as experienced community builders from Cebu, Bohol, Olongapo, and Quezon City. The program was led by Ate Ashley Uy, who gave an engaging and insightful discussion, emphasizing the importance of laying solid foundations through effective strategies, like following a community weaving framework, among other things. So if I'm not mistaken, I was told that Ate Ash was also part of Symph, which I thought was kind of cool. And yeah, this is just a little retrospect, a little, I guess, in a way, I'm just looking back at the event, which happened roughly 2 weeks ago. So this was still pretty recent. And finally, I want to talk about some of my personal projects. So I have something to admit. Because I took in, or rather, I took so many organizational responsibilities during my second and current year, I actually sort of neglected my technical skills, which is what I'm hoping to nurture through the internship if I'm accepted. So here are a few of the projects that I was able to work on. So this is a simple blog website. Uh, the following project is a blog website developed as part of our activity for our technical writing subject, and the project was built using a combination of HTML, Tailwind, CSS, and JavaScript. And the site was eventually hosted using Cloudflare. So we were basically told to build a blog website, and we decided to theme our blogs around the entertainment industry. So anything from TikTok, from games, from VFX, from movies, etc. The blog article that I wrote had something to do with tabletop RPGs, particularly Dungeons and Dragons, if you're familiar. So another fun fact about me is that I'm an avid tabletop gamer. But yeah, that's all about entertainment. The next project was okay. This is a personal self-development project. I didn't really release or market this because that would be bad for me. So I basically made a functional Pokédex using Flutter and Poke API. So it served as a practice project for me. I wanted to try incorporating APIs in a Flutter app, and I came to discover Poke API, which is amazing, by the way, because it's completely free, and you don't even need an API key to make requests to it, which I thought was really cool. So I made a Pokedex. Um, Another project is ScanScript, which is a regular expression OCR scanner. This was also developed as part of a professional subject. So basically, what's what it does is you can add words or even regular expressions here to search for, and then you can either take a picture of a physical document or select an image from your gallery, crop it, and it's going to highlight all instances of the regular expressions or words that you entered that appeared on the actual text. It uses Google machine learning text recognition, I believe is the package that I used. And a similar project that I used Google ML Kit for text recognition for is WordSpy, which is a mobile application that I also developed with Dart and Flutter that solves scanned word search puzzles based on images that you provided. So you click the add image button, and you get to select if you want to select from your gallery or if you want to take a picture. You prop to select only the word search puzzle itself, and then it gives you a rendered view of the word search puzzle. You could click the plus button here to add words that you're searching for, and it just highlights them on a whim. And this was a fun project. I wanted to train my technical skills and my logical thinking skills. I developed the algorithm for solving the word search puzzle myself. Granted, it's probably pretty inefficient because I was like 3 levels deep into for loops, but it still works fast enough. It's not really a problem. And the letters are only like, not very long, so it doesn't actually scale that poorly. But yeah. And the final project I want to talk about is Diction Dash. So this was also developed as part of our application development subject. So it's a Flutter mobile application that functions as an English language trainer where a user participates in daily mini games to improve their proficiency in certain aspects of the English language, such as vocabulary, spelling, grammar, and comprehension. So by participating in all of these different mini games, you are enhancing or increasing your proficiency with the English language. And this was very heavily inspired, obviously, by Diction Dash, by Elevate, etc. But yeah, it's a little fun project. It was actually sloppily coded back in the day because we were rushing. I'm revisiting the project right now to sort of clean it up and make it into a functional product. But yeah, this was a really fun project to work on. And I believe that concludes my Pecha Kucha video. So thank you so much for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experiences and skills with you through this video. And I look forward to the possibility of contributing to your team. You can find me at galangwakin@gmail.com or github.com/wakinggalang. So that concludes my presentation. So thank you very much. I hope to hear from you soon.